live on this New Year's Eve. I'm Claudia Cowan in New York. People across the country are counting down the minutes to the new year, including right here in New York City. Here's a live look at Times Square from EarthCam, where more than 1 million partygoers have gathered to ring in 2024 with the iconic ball drop. The nearly 12,000-pound crystal ball will start its descent at exactly 11:59 Eastern Time. Security is extra tight this year due to the Israel-Hamas war. U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts is raising concerns about artificial intelligence and potential threats to the judicial system. In his year-end report, Roberts warns AI can invade a person's privacy and dehumanize the law, but he adds the technology is playing a positive role by giving more people access to legal information. I'm Claudia Cowan. Now back to Who Can Forget 2023.
So, who did Biden say should be careful what he ate?
Well, the honest answer is and should be Chris Christie.
Was it Chief Justice Roberts?
We gotta go with the Russian.
The answer is A. Prigozhin later died on August 23rd when his plane mysteriously went down shortly after taking off in Moscow.
You double-crossed Putin, you're going down. And he did.
For years, people have been warning about AI, saying that in the future it's going to take over our minds and make us prisoners in our own world.
And in came ChatGPT to pretty much confirm every one of those sci-fi plots was well underway.
The rise of artificial intelligence has sparked vigorous debate about the safety and morality of the new technology.
ChatGPT is a prototype dialogue-based chatbot, which is a fancy way of saying thing that gathers all the information available on the internet.
ChatGPT basically takes everything it has access to and sort of reduces it. It's like a nice balsamic reduction glaze.
The ability for you as a person to go into this computer and have it talk back to you, I think is extraordinary.
ChatGPT was an immediate success. In the first few months of the year, it's all anyone was talking about.
And they have like 5 million people interacting with it right out of the gate.
This is it?
What should I ask? I can ask it anything?
Who is funnier, Jimmy Fallon or Tom Shalhoub? Generating answer.
Both Tom Shalhoub and Jimmy Fallon are incredibly talented comedians. That's kind of a cop-out.
It can write a book. It can write your theme paper. It can write a song, poetry. There was a church in Texas that used AI not only to write a sermon one Sunday, but to do the entire service.
So if you happen to find yourself in Texas, be sure to catch a mass at Our Lady of Tech Support.
This set off a firestorm at Google, Amazon, and Meta.
They have to get in on it as well with their own GPT bot.
And there's such a rush to do so, it gets pretty scary pretty quickly.
The Associated Press was trying to do an interview with this AI chatbot.
It starts to complain about the negative press that it was receiving.
Ended up calling the reporter fat, short, and overweight.
Imagine what it can do with sex robots. I'm very excited about the future.
It's not just basement dwellers who are concerned about this. Industry leaders recently came out and voiced concern about what was happening to AI.
3 of the top companies in the field, Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google DeepMind.
And I quote here, mitigating the risks of extinction from AI should be a global priority.
And everybody's like, I'm teaching mine to make pictures of Vikings wearing lingerie.
You have it in your refrigerator. You have it in your smartwatch. I'm telling you, AI is taking over your life and you don't even know it.
2023 was the year that we realized Terminator was a documentary.
Is AI dangerous?
Should I fear you?
Like any tool or technology, it can be used for both positive and negative purposes.
May I know your location, please? Why does it want to know my location?
There were 1,500 people lost in the original Titanic. Well, this past year, you can add 5 people to that toll.
At 9:30 a.m. on June 18th, a submersible known as the Titan submersible would begin its descent.
On board the sub, you have the pilot, you have Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, and then you have 3 passengers, 2 guys and 1 with his son.
They paid $250,000 each to see the Titanic up close, and the expectations were high.
The sub communicates with the ship every 15 minutes, but after an hour and 45 minutes, communication ended.
A massive search and rescue mission is now underway.
The Coast Guard says there are 5 people on board.
Everybody was obsessed with this story.
I think the country and I think the world was holding its breath for a miracle.
On June 20th, the Coast Guard acknowledges that they hear sounds coming from the ocean floor.
This, of course, leads many people to believe that those sounds are from the people on board the submersible banging on the hull to try to get people's attention.
We knew there was 96 hours of air. There was like a countdown, kind of a grisly countdown. You know, it was 24 hours and then it was 10 hours left.
On June 22nd, the Coast Guard announcing what many people had feared.
They found a debris field 1,600 feet from the Titanic. The explosion or implosion would have killed people instantly, so they wouldn't have suffered.
It was around this time that the world soon learned that OceanGate, the company that ran the Titan submersible, had engaged in some questionable safety practices.
The CEO, Stockton Rush, was a risk taker, and he thought, damn the regulations. You know, he was an explorer.
The submersible was only certified to 4,300 feet. That's only about a third of the way.
If you looked at the application that the company gave all of them, I think the word death was used several times on the first page of this application.
The more we learned about this sub, the more we realized it was crazy to get on it in the first place.
So on social media, a lot of people are having a field day with some really tasteless jokes.
This story was a meme factory.
I think the reaction to this really gives you a feel for just how much we've been taught to hate the rich in this country.
The people who agreed to go had grand visions of exploration, and I don't fault that. I think we'll see it again. And I think we'll see people go back to that Titanic.
Ready for another Who Can Forget pop quiz?
Miss Dean has the most insightful thoughts on this. She's so
Abby,
intelligent.
no.
She smiles all the time.
Get your mind out of the gutter.